The esteemed mystical and philosophical writers Nicholas and Helena Roerich are two of the most influential spiritual thought leaders from Russia, recognized for founding the doctrine of Agni Yoga, also known as living ethics. Believed to be a synthesis of all yogas, spiritual disciplines, Agni Yoga focuses on the daily practice of love, beauty, and noble action. Nicholas Roerich was also a highly esteemed artist whose illuminating paintings, charged with the energy of his mystical experiences, drew many pilgrims from around the world. His wife, Helena Roerich, was the incentive for his interest in Eastern spirituality and theosophy. She is depicted in his painting titled She Who Leads. Traveling extensively throughout Asia to deepen their spiritual studies, the Roerichs eventually met their master in Darjeeling, India. The ascended venerated Master Morya, also known as El Morya, is a master of the Great White Brotherhood, an order of ascended masters and their incarnated disciples, one of whom was Helena Blavatsky. In fact, Master Morya inspired the founding of the Theosophical Society, and to the Roerichs, he was the inspiration behind all of their noble ideals for the world. Morya revealed messages of higher wisdom to Nicholas and Helena Roerich, which they recorded on paper and later gathered into a series of texts. Today, we will read a selection from Hierarchy, a book containing some of the remarkably uplifting teachings of Master Morya, put into texts by his disciples Helena and Nicholas Roerich. The excerpts serves as a pure spiritual inspiration for our modern and future generations, with an aim and emphasis on following the course of conscious evolution. Hierarchy, 1931. Merging into the ways of the infinite, we may be compared to flowers torn away by a storm. How shall we find ourselves transfigured in the ocean of the infinite? It would be unwise to send out a boat without a rudder, but the pilot is predestined, and the creation of the heart will not be precipitated into the abyss. Like milestones on a luminous path, the brothers of humanity, ever alert, are standing on guard, ready to lead the traveler into the chain of ascent. Hierarchy is not coercion, it is the law of the universe. It is not a threat, but the call of the heart, and a fiery admonition directing toward the general good. Thus, let us cognize the hierarchy of light. How to transmute the most bitter into the most sweet. Nothing save hierarchy will transform life into a higher consciousness. It is impossible to imagine a bridge into the infinite, because a bridge is in need of abutments. But hierarchy, like the abutments of a bridge, brings one to the shore of light. And imagine the entire effulgence that the eyes behold, and understand the song of light. Let us labor for light and hierarchy. So much has been said about doctrines, yet humanity does not know how to accept the doctrine of the brotherhood. How many distortions have been accumulated about the truth? How many principles have been destroyed? They will ask, on what is the stronghold of the brotherhood built? Answer, on the doctrine of the heart, the doctrine of labor, the doctrine of beauty, the doctrine of evolution, the doctrine of tension, the most vital doctrine. We are wateries of the infinite. Where the all-encompassing striving cannot penetrate, the brothers of humanity do not affirm their manifestation. We suffuse space with the flux of evolution. The brothers of humanity willingly renounce paranirvana, the highest nirvana for the affirmation of human evolution, in their desire to lay the foundation for a better step. The goal is not divested of labor. The goal is not divested of sacrifice. Thus, point out the closeness of the manifestation of Maitreya. According to the prophecy of the most ancient teachers, when humanity loses the foundation of the teaching and sinks into obscurity, the epoch of Maitreya will take place. Our pillars of the foundation are sent to regenerate the spirit understanding. Thus, say to those who do not understand, thus point out the doctrine of the heart. When we pointed out the urgency of regenerating our decrees concerning the equilibrium of the origins, humanity did not accept this assertion and inaugurated transgression. Thus, one side transgressed against the cosmic balance. We know the tread of the Mother of the world. We know the manifestation of the Mother of the world. We intensify the complete flow of the magnet to restore the doctrine of the heart. I designate the Tara, Buddhist savior goddess, as the symbol of the assertion of our decree. The Tara and the Arhat bring to humanity a covenant of utmost striving. Thus is the future built. Thus we affirm our striving. Wondrous is the future. The heart of an Arhat is like the heart of cosmos. The heart of an Arhat is like the fire of the sun. Eternity and the motion of cosmos fill the heart of the Arhat. Maitreya is coming, radiant with all fires. Her heart is aflame with the compassion for destitute humanity. Her heart is aflame with the affirmation of the new covenants. Among people, there exists the concept of benumbed arhats, and poor yogis feed the imaginations of men with their own images. But when humanity shall realize that the arhat is the highest manifestation of materia lucida, the radiant manifestation of the all-pervading cosmic fire, it will understand that there is no difference between materia lucida, which emits light, and the matter of love, enveloping all with light. Humanity invests the Arhat with an austere image, but materia lucida radiates love. The sublime is bestowed upon the sublime, and the sublime dwells in the sublime, and the sublime will hold sway in the dimensions of the far-off worlds. Our hierarchy lives and grows by the fiery law. We Arhats rejoice at the fire of life, and even more at the growth of the flame of evolution. Future Arhats, completing their earthly accounts on the planet, are co-workers with us, the Arhats. When hierarchy is enriched, there is a cosmic festival. The law is one and eternal. The law is confirmed by cosmos. We see the radiance of the worlds. We see the accomplished and endless march. We see the radiance of the Mother of the world. Let us conclude in the joy of the endless march. The universal eye of Shambhala brings bliss to mankind. The universal eye of Shambhala is a light on the path of mankind. The universal eye of Shambhala is that star which has guided all seekers. For some, Shambhala is the truth. For others, Shambhala is a utopia. For some, the ruler of Shambhala is a venerable sage. For others, the ruler of Shambhala is the manifestation of riches. For some, the ruler of Shambhala is a bedecked idol. For others, the ruler of Shambhala is the ruler of all planetary spirits. But we shall say the ruler of Shambhala is the fiery impeller of life and of the fire of the Mother of the world. Her breath is ablaze with flame, and her heart is aglow with the fire of the silvery lotus. The ruler of Shambhala lives and breathes in the heart of the sun. The ruler of Shambhala is the invoker and the invoked. The ruler of Shambhala is the sender of the arrow and the receiver of all arrows. Ruler of Shambhala breathes the truth and affirms the truth. The ruler of Shambhala is invincible, turning destruction into construction. The ruler of Shambhala is the crest of the banner and the summit of life. Accept the ruler of Shambhala as the manifestation of life, thrice I say of life, for Shambhala is the guarantee of human aspirations. Our manifestation is guarantee of the perfecting of humanity. Our manifestation is the affirmed path to the infinite. For more information and more of the Agni Yoga Society books, please visit agniyoga.org. Cheerful viewers, thank you for joining us on today's Words of Wisdom.